So what I wanted to do as we talked about this was start to do some more of this mindset slash leadership development. I'm going to start doing things. I got a YouTube channel. I haven't really done much with it. I got a bunch of posts on there that happen to be pastoral in nature. I've done some Bible studies and things like that are on there. But you know, I've been around the industry for a long time. This industry of what's called network marketing, and what it really is people. That's what it really comes down to. And I've seen a lot of people come in and want to win at high levels, and then they don't, and kind of go out with their tail between their leg and say that didn't work or whatever. And I've watched this for a long time, and I've been that person. Been that person that's tried a lot of different things, failed a lot, and then we had success, and things went away, and now success again. And it's mindset. It's all about how what your mind, what's your really your self-talk, what you're saying to yourself. So what I wanted to do, I didn't want to take a ton of time, but I'm going to give you guys like 20-30 minutes of some real important stuff, and here's why. I am watching a lot of people come in to our particular business and win at a really high level really quickly. I mean, really quick. And in some of your cases, depending on your self-imagination, you look at that and say, oh, it's good for them. I must not be successful. That's not for me. I'm less than, or however that talk goes in your mind. Others look at that and go, dang, if they can do it, I can do it. It's the same thing that's happening. It's just how we see it, how we process it internally, and how we see ourselves is everything about that conversation that we have with ourselves. So I'm watching this happen, and I see all this happening, and I'm starting to see some people that kind of, what I'll call, my word for it is shrink back. Like not there was a lot of energy at the beginning and then shrink back. And that could be because somebody made a comment, there was a rejection, somebody said that won't work, that's a lie, all these different things that other people are very happy to give you their opinion. But if you buy the opinion of others, you need to buy their lifestyle as well. And most people don't really have it really going on, so they just like to have an opinion. And so I'm going to talk about some things tonight that hopefully will unlock some things for you. If in fact you're at a point where you might be stuck, where you might want more in life, and this could have to do with relationships. If you want a deeper, better relationship with whomever you're in a relationship with, or maybe even to have a relationship again, or for the first time, or in a job, what does that look like when you show up if you've got a job? What about a business that you have? Have you only grown it so much and you want it to be bigger? I know for me, for a long time, way back so I've been around this industry, like I said, a long time. When my parents first got into Amway, I was 8. I watched them work their tails off for what I perceived to be not great financial success. Even though my dad retired at 38 by doing that, which is a pretty cool deal, and my parents got to spend every day together, which for them was success. For me, I was looking at that going, we just don't have a lot more, I just don't, they bought their jobs the way I looked at it. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's my perspective. So I had this going in. So my perspective was, I'm not doing what they did ever because they worked way too hard and they didn't get it. They're not making enough money for the work that went in. What I did not realize was that the price of freedom can be pretty large. And what my dad wanted was freedom, and he got that, and they were willing to do whatever they had to do to get their freedom. Now I look back as a 61-year-old guy and I go, wow, big props to them. I couldn't process it that way in my teens and 20s. But then I decided to jump in, gave this Amway thing 6 years, 7 years, no days off. I mean, no days off. Horrific results. It was pathetic. I mean, really pathetic. So listen to me right now. Some of you who are involved here in MPG, listen, 6 years, no days off, no holidays, no birthdays, no nothing. Every single day for 6 years, I was doing something to try to grow that. And it was horrible results. I mean, zero. So bad that my wife and I almost divorced after that. We had 7 years of really bad, blaming each other, all that stuff. So it was overall about a 13 to 15 year process of negative. I mean, not good. My headspace sucked. So there I am at, I'm really successful at 33 years old. I'm going to go back to my job, just do the best I can out of that. But I started at least listening to some tapes back in the day, some mindset stuff, reading books, things like that. And in my early 30s, kind of started to finally open the Bible and start to figure out what that was all about. And long story short, I was growing in my mind. And then later on, a travel company came when I was about 47 years old. And we had great success with that until COVID hit, and then that shot that down. So now at 4 years ago, right about now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with the rest of my life. This is not good. And so we've had to work through a lot of that. I'm saying all this, guys, to say this. So we've had great success. I've had great failure. I know exactly where every one of you is because I have been there. Okay. I have been there. And what I want to try to communicate tonight is why I was there and how I got through it. So I'm going to start with a story real quick. Way back in our travel business days, there was a time, I don't remember what it was, what year it was, doesn't really matter, but I was going to go on a blitz, a 90-day blitz. Some of you guys have heard of these 90-day blitzes. 90 days, all in, going to do it. And for me, that was going to be 13 hours a day. I was full-time at that point, but really struggling. We were barely getting by every month, but I had my freedom. I didn't have a job no more because I walked away from my $100,000 a year, 20-hour-a-week job that I worked from my couch to trade it in for $1,100 a month from my business, to which my wife said, "What are you doing to my life?" Good thing that worked out. But anyway, so we're doing this blitz, 90-day blitz, and so it's 32 people say, "I want to do it with you, Terry." Okay, great. I know that's not going to happen. And so I started about 3 weeks ahead of everybody else because as the leader, if you're a leader in your life, and every one of you is a leader, if you are a parent, you are a leader. Congratulations. You might be leading one person, but you're a leader. The question is, how well are you leading? Are you leading well or poorly? That's always the question. So in this context, we were going to do this whole thing. I got this whole thing together and boom, I started 3 weeks before anybody else. I didn't tell anybody. I just started my 13 hours a day. That was for me at the time. That's not the important part. I was going to be out the house at 9 a.m. and not back home till 10 p.m. minimum every single day. I was for 90 days. That's what I was going to go do. Well, days, the first 2 weeks go by, 14, 15 days, 16 days, zero. I mean, nothing is happening. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Zero is happening. And so finally on day 17, like 12 people joined our team at that time. And I was like, oh. Day 18, the next day, 13 more people join. This is great. Now here's the rub, guys. At that point, we had not started the 90-day blitz yet. Listen to me, because this is it. We had not started the 90-day blitz. I'm on day 18. I'm starting 3 weeks. That's 21 days ahead. And now it's day 18. We've got 12 people, then 13 people joined. And here was my thought. Listen. Here was my thought. Now I can relax. We haven't even started. And in my mind, I'm thinking, now I can relax. And that thought hit me. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? Why am I thinking that? Why am I thinking that I can relax now? And here's the answer. Because my self-image told me that that was as much success as I was going to have. And that in that moment, I had to formally, physically reject that thought. Oh no, that's who I used to be. That is not who I am anymore. It is time to hit the gas. But it was this thought that changed my life because it was in my habits. It was in my psyche, my self-image, my self-imagination that that was it. Now I could relax because now things were just going to go on and progress without me doing all the work. Wrong. Now, why am I saying that? Because many of you are going to come, if you haven't already, you're going to come face to face with your self-limiting beliefs. How you see yourself, the words you say to yourself matter. And if you don't believe that you deserve more success, I guarantee you, you won't get it. You will stay right where you are. So it's all about how we see ourselves. Now, this can go back, you've probably heard this stuff all before. This can go back to our childhood when somebody said something to you that went in that God never intended to be there, but you and I took it on as truth. Here's an example. My blushing bride is about 4'10" and about 85 pounds. And so she's very, very dinky. And so, but in her mind, she was always fat. Because when she was young, a relative who had influence said that she was fat. And she held on to that for decades. Even though that wasn't anywhere near the truth, it didn't matter. It was the truth in her mind. So I'm saying all this to you guys tonight, today, this morning, for this reason. As you build this business, as you come in and you start to share this with people, you might allow somebody else's self-limiting beliefs to become your reality. Don't do that. You need to go to people who nurture your vision, your potential, and go to them to get some understanding of what can be. And I refer to this part where when you're coming face to face with your self-limiting beliefs, you can go to John Maxwell, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and this would be called the law of the lid. And whatever your lid is, and there are many lids, just so you know, you will never stop hitting the new lid. I refer to this as new level, new devil. And here's what I mean. When you get to be as successful as you perceive success to be, and here's another quick example. For me, when I thought about this industry of network marketing, I thought, man, if I could make 100,000 a year, that would be the bomb. 100 grand, that'd be it. That'd be that, success. That's it. That for me was success. Until I heard one of my upline guys go, hey, if you haven't made 25,000 a month, you haven't even started in this industry. I was like, oh, well, that's different. So he had a different lid than I did. When I first got started in that particular industry, in that business that I'm talking about, the travel business, my goal was to have 1,000 people on my team at some point. Well, there was another gentleman, a good friend of mine, who decided to have 10,000 people on his team in year one. Now, I ultimately got to 1,000 people several years in. He did not get to 10,000 people in year one, but ultimately got to 250,000 people. So while he did not reach his goal of 10,000 people in year one, it's about his vision. It's about how he saw himself and what he was going to go do in this particular endeavor. It doesn't matter what endeavor it is, guys. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's about how we see ourselves and what we're expecting. So he and I both had goals. It was just, I didn't have a date on mine, honestly, because I didn't know when I was going to do it. And he was like, I'm doing this in year one, because that's what his self-talk, that's what his come from was. I had to grow through those things, just like you. And so all of a sudden, we start to, have this success. And I realized, though, along the way that $25,000 a month number, I was like, oh, man, how do you do that? Because I had never done that before. But I'm watching these people who did. And so it's going to come down to this. If somebody can do it, then I can do it. Or your thinking is going to be, well, that's for the successful people. That's not for me. And that was my talk for a long time. The success, because my family, my parents, I saw them as not having great financial success. And that was the family I came from that didn't have a lot. So we were the people that would work really hard and not have the success. But the successful people, they got all the breaks, they got all the whatever. You see what I'm saying? So my thinking created this reality for me, and I would always live up to it by things like self-sabotage. Day 18, okay, now I can relax. Self-sabotage. So, new level, new devil. What does that mean? When you're coming and to your lid of success, whatever it is, intimacy in a relationship. Ooh, no, I've been hurt before. I don't want to get that close, that kind of stuff. At your job, I'm only going to be there, right at 5 o'clock, I'm out the door versus doing a whole lot more and working as somebody who's at a higher level so that you can get that promotion. Here in a business like ours, you get to, let's say, gold. You got 8 people. Whoo, platinum. Oh, I don't know about platinum or whatever. It doesn't matter. Sapphire, emerald. It doesn't matter what the rank is. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you see it, how you see yourself. What is it about somebody else that can come in and go diamond in 23 days and somebody else struggles for the first month and never puts a person in because they're afraid to talk to somebody? It's the same business. The person is different. So here's what's up. New level, new devil. When I come to this lid of success, this is as successful as I see myself being, then in that scenario, anything beyond that success lid requires change. Now, here's the challenge. If I've never operated at that next level of success that is beyond my lid, I don't know how to operate there. As a result, it is an unknown. I want more. I want to break through the lid. I would like the results, but I don't know how to break through. So I just keep doing the same things I've been doing. Some people on here, and I'm not knocking anybody, okay? Please don't take it that way. But if you've been in this industry for a minute and somehow you think that just doing social media posts is what's going to get it done, you are out of your mind. Don't think that. You're going to get the same results you have. That is not the way to make this happen. But some people think because that's what they've been taught. And there are internet marketing guys out there who teach on how to make money at internet marketing when the only people that make money in internet marketing are the people who coach people on how to make money in internet marketing. Just so you know, there is a way to do this. You must grow you. People need to follow you because you have the vision to take them where they want to get to. So that requires growth. So when I come to this lid right here, I have to start to change it. Here's what's going to happen inside. I'm going to describe it to you, and we'll be done here pretty quick. There's what I refer to as turbulence in your spirit. You want more. You would like more. You see it, but you're frustrated because you keep not getting it. You're just close enough. I have people that I really want to see have more success, and every month I'm asking them early in the month, what's your plan? I see you can get this, and it's not until the 23rd, 25th of the month. Hey, I just need to do this. Why didn't you start that at the beginning of the month? Because their self-image tells them they won't get to that rank already. And so they fulfill that image. So when you start to feel that tension, like, oh, I got to do something different. I got to do something different. And you don't do it, it's because you are fulfilling your picture of you. And that's not good, bad, right, wrong. It's real. And because it's real, it keeps us right where we are. So this whole thing about the lid is really important because everybody faces it. And once you break through one, there's another one. And then you're going to hit that. Here's the beautiful part. If you will grow through the lids at the lower levels of your life, you will develop a habit. You'll feel what it feels like, the tension that's inside, to know that you're going to have tension in your relationships. You'll start to blame other people, circumstances, government. Oh my gosh, this thing doesn't work. I had one person that said they gained weight. All these different things are going to come up in your mind. Why? So that you can justify you staying where you're at. These are things, real things that people do, guys. I know, because that was me for a long time. And it was, as long as I could blame somebody else, guess what? I didn't have to change me. So what I'm talking about right now is this feeling, this turbulence. You're going to feel that tension. And hopefully, if I'm describing this to some of you right now, you're feeling it right now. And that means you're approaching your lid. And it's going to require change. What does change look like? I got to do things differently. I got to contact more people. I got to contact differently. Maybe I should stop saying these things. Maybe I shouldn't explain it to everybody. Whatever it is, I don't know what that is in this context. But again, it can be in a relationship. If your significant other wants to spend some quality time together and you keep figuring out ways to not do it, there's a reason for that. And so these are things. It doesn't matter what area of your life it is, they're real things. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to recognize it, and then are you going to do something about it? And so as we hit these levels, when I refer to a new devil, what that is are these things that compete. I want to do this, but I don't know if that will work. Okay, try. What's the harm in trying? I might fail. And what's the harm in failing? Well, then I won't feel good about myself. Okay, why is that? And we can have that whole conversation. Or you can go to people that are already at that level and ask them, what do I do here? And just do what they've already done, because the path has already been cleared before you. Do it this way. All you got to do is this. And so, but you and I have to be willing to change who we are, how we see ourselves. It's a long process, just so you know, guys. It's going to take a lot of reading, a lot of action, a lot of change is what it's going to require. As a matter of fact, I am so passionate about this that during the lockdown, I actually wrote a book on all of this stuff right here. When people join this industry, what is it that they experience? So I call it Network King, Biblical Principles on How and Why to Build Your Network. Jesus employed the same things. He was the greatest networker of all. Now, whether you're in on Jesus or not is not the conversation for tonight. Here's what I can tell you. He called Matthew, follow me. We're going to have dinner at your place tonight. Oh, I'm going to meet some of your friends. Invite them over. That's what networking is. I meet somebody, we bring them on board, we meet their friends. That's networking. Zacchaeus, come out of that tree. Come on down. I'm having dinner at your house. Invite some of your friends over, your tax collector friends. I want to meet them. That's what Jesus did. That's what we do. So, okay, greatest networker ever. What did he do? Let's go study it. That's what that is. But it doesn't matter. If you have somebody else that can give you the answers, go to them and ask them, what should I do in this situation to grow? And so understand, guys, our self-talk, our subconscious does not know the difference between truth and lies. And if you continue to say the same things to yourself, even in your mind, you will believe it. Now, that can work for you or against you. And the beautiful part is when we are in a situation where we have no other options. Some of you guys maybe been there. I was there literally in March of this year, literally in that situation 5 months ago, literally. And we were in like the worst situation we've been in for 35 years, 5 months ago. And so, but through the process of learning how to grow through these things and dealing with adversity, I understood what to lean on at that time. But what became clear was when I was in that situation, my urgency to change it was really high. And all the other stuff, all the pride, all the ego, all the things that how do people going to look at me? Oh, I got to look a certain way. I want all that stuff out the window. What became clear is I've got to go make this happen right here, and everything else does not matter. It's a great place to be in your life. most of us are candidly a little too comfortable for that to happen. And so we just kind of stay right there in that phase of, I'd like more, but this is really okay. And so I'll finish up with this tonight. You can ask some Q&A if you guys would like. The life you say you want, you will either go do what it takes to get it, or you will trade for the life you currently have. You're either going to keep doing the things you're doing, or you're going to do something different to get that life that you say you want. I don't know, where people are at. I'm not trying to say your life sucks or anything. That's not my point. My point is, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And that different requires different activity, different habits. It requires change. It requires thinking differently. The situations that we have in our life, we got into those situations with the thinking that we have. That thinking will not get us out of those situations. We have to use different level of thinking to get out of those situations. So all of that to say this: if in fact there are some things you've been saying, I would need to do this, I need to do this, I'm going to do this, and continue to not do it, it's because you're fulfilling the picture you have of you. And if that's a reality, if you're feeling that tonight, this is a real thing that you need to grow through. Get a book, The 5 Levels of Leadership. Oh my gosh, I don't know, 15 times I've read that book. Easy. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by Maxwell. I mean, it goes on and on. There's lots of resources out there, and it can help you immensely to break through those things. And the last thing I just want to show you real quick, because all of this comes down to this right here, guys. Where are we? Let's go back over here. Exit full screen. What's going on there? And let's go back over here. Bang. Oh, I see the problem. Here we go. Comes down to this. Let's get rid of you. Panic at the Disco. There we go. Minneapolis. Now, some of you guys, I'm sure you've heard of the Minneapolis event, and some of you went like this. You said, oh, that's too expensive. I can't go. That was your first thought. The question is, why is that your first thought? Because as soon as you say that, you now don't need to figure out a way to get there. And if you don't need to figure out a way to get there, you're not going to get the inspiration. Forget the information, even though it's going to be bomb. The inspiration that you're going to walk away with. This is a big deal. It's how we approach things. If I was to say, okay, I'm buying that ticket and then I'm going to figure out a way to get there. That's a different way. It's a different mindset. Not everybody's cut out for that. I'm just saying, what was your response to this? Now, many of you in Australia. And so, coming over for the weekend, maybe not. Even though I went to South Africa for the weekend back in May. I did that. Just saying. And so, so this is all about what it is you want. If somebody because I'm the one talking to you as a royal diamond in this business, having had success and failure, is saying these events, listen, if you want greater success, are really non-negotiable, because you're not really going to make any big decisions sitting on your couch at home. Just doesn't happen. This is why getting into the events matters. So I would just really, really implore you to ask, whether you buy a ticket or not right now is not the question. The question is, what was your response when you heard about the event? That's the question. And then you have to ask, why was that my response? So have some deep conversations with yourself. So I'm going to take a quick breath here. Holy cow, 30 chats here. Let me just do this. Thank you, hon. Hang on one sec, guys. Let me just do one thing. There we go.
Hey, Terry, somebody was asking where to get your book.
Okay. There we go. The heck? New computer. I'm trying to just stop the record. Stop the recording. No, okay, let's do that. Aha, there we go. Let's just do that. There we go.